Hello. So I've got my old Galaxy S10e Samsung phone here on my workbench because my screen on this thing for several years now, it's been just sitting aside, not being used because my screen actually had an issue where it just went completely blank and stopped working, but then I was able to get it partially working again. But when it was partially working, the screen was all scrambled and jumbled, and obviously something had happened with a burnout of some kind with the screen. So I have purchased a complete replacement screen along with the adhesive for it. And after watching some videos on this, I did realize that it looks like I'm going to need some adhesive for the back cover too to get it back on there properly. But I think what I can go ahead and do is fix the phone, get the screen working again, and then decide if I want to spend the money on the back cover, because if I do all this and the phone still is acting funny or has another issue, then I might not want to spend any more money on a back cover. Not the back cover needs to be replaced, but the actual just adhesive is another, like $10 plus shipping costs, which are insane right now. So, because I think it would come from overseas, unfortunately, and due to tariffs and idiotic political choices, we have to deal with these things. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started heating this up and attempt to take the back cover off without breaking anything. I recently worked on a Google Pixel 3 XL and I shattered the back cover while taking it off, so I've learned to be careful. That phone I haven't given up on yet. I'm still gonna try and fix it, and just that's up and coming. So we're gonna get to this. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna use my Conair Infinity Pro Not Doctor hair dryer as a heat gun because it's perfectly heat gun shaped, and if I didn't say what it was and just held it like this and did it, you would think it's a normal heat gun, and it works just as well too. So this is my solution, and I don't need to spend extra money on a separate heat gun this way for my workbench. Right, let's get to it. Okay, actually, before I start using the hairdryer, let's get some of this out of the way so we don't get too much heat on like that adhesive. That'd be bad if that ended up having, start curling up or something, because I was blowing hot air without taking care as to where I'm blowing the hot air. Always a good rule in life. Watch where you're spreading your hot air, and if you should be spreading it to begin with. Let's use, this is not sponsored, but last time I was heating things up, my poor mat here started bubbling, so not bubbling, but just like changing shape because of the heat, so don't want to do that. All right, is this still plugged in is the question. Oop, I got wrapped up with a keyboard cord. We use this workbench for gaming too at times. Nope, not plugged in. Brilliant. Give me a second. Alright, here we go. And sorry if the washing machine is right behind that wall, so washing some clothes. Hopefully the mic's not picking it up when I'm talking, but let's go. Let's see if we got anywhere there. Probably gonna be really hot to touch. I might need my gloves. Well, let's use these tools out here. It's moving very easily this time, which is great. Wow, that seemed like it was just ready to go right off the bat. Okay, I didn't do very much on the top there, so... Again, I'm not pushing hard, not sliding this thing really hard, just enough to see if there's resistance, and there's resistance right there, so heat that up. All right, let's see if that'll do. Much better. And nice. That was very clean. That's exactly what I was hoping for. That's awesome. So much better than my last time trying to do this. I'm learning, getting better at it. It's very cool. Okay, so now it's going to be a matter of, let's see if I can get any of this goop off while, although I don't need to worry about this too much at the moment, because this is the part of the phone I'm gonna need to worry about. So we'll set this aside, and I'll clean that up, reheat it, and clean it up later. Once I decide, you know, if this is the true fix, if having the new screen is the true fix on this thing. So let's get it out of the way here. Set it right there. I'm gonna use this top cover of the replacement screen to put all the screws and keep the whole project together. So yeah, now I think honestly, it's probably better for me to just focus on getting the screws off and getting the screen attached, and then charging it for a little bit and seeing if it works, and then going from there. So that's kind of the approach I'm going to take here. There, found it. Perfect. This is good. So I think when it comes to these first set of screws around this whole, see if you can see. So I don't know, there's kind of more screws like initially here. Again, I'm gonna try and get a better camera for doing this kind of focus work, because I'm just using a glorified webcam, and I need a DSLR camera at some point here. I'm hoping to get one in March, but this, I had the right one. Nope, that, don't want to strip a screw here. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue here. I did find out that this was the screwdriver to do this with. At least for these screws, anyway. If I can get my claw under there to actually get this one out. There. Alright, let's continue with these other screws. Start getting them all out. Okay, so after much, actually we don't need this now that we're not using the heat gun. After much futzing with almost every little screwdriver I have, this little one is the 1.5 by 25 millimeter, and it is the right one. It's just really hard to get some of these going. But once you do, then it's fine. So, but the problem is the metal on this, on the head of this. Like I don't even push super hard, and I somehow bent it a little bit, I think, and that's why I'm struggling. So I'm looking at first spending only like I think it's gonna end up being like $16 to get a professional phone and laptop repair kit with 117 pieces at 96 bits. So I think that's the way to go, because then I'll just have what I need, because I have other laptops coming to work on and other things to do. So, but you know, my tool set is a little limited right now when it comes to smaller devices. So yeah, like this one feels like it's stripped. I might just have to wait until tomorrow. Gosh darn it, I wanted to finish recording this, at least the disassembly, and seeing if the new cover or the new screen works. I think that's actually working. Got started with the little one, but then it was spinning, and then I was able to finish it off with just a normal good old Phillips head. So kind of crazy. Yeah, but I don't like having to struggle this much on these little screws. So probably be doing a time lapse here in a moment to see on the other side of that. Huh? Feel like a real YouTuber now.
Several days later.
All right, well, here we are, a whole nother day. Actually a solid week and a half, I think, since I last was recording this. I've since ordered this kit for fixing small electronics, which is something I've needed for a long time, and I'm going to use it now to get the rest of the screws off of the Galaxy S10e so I can finish this. And I was sick all last week, so that's partly why I haven't been able to get to it until now. But let's go ahead and finish getting all these screws out. The screws I've been putting right here in this box. So I'm gonna continue. I believe I have the right sized head in here for this. And this is a great kit. Like, so far I'm very impressed with it. And very unlikely to strip the bits on this, because it's high quality metal. I have to keep grabbing them, I think. This phone should be pretty safe to do this work on. I have not charged it in probably 6 months. It's just been sitting, waiting to be fixed. I had charged it hoping that the issues with the screen was more of a software problem or something else, and after charging it and trying it again, it was just a very jumbled screen, and it definitely was not just a simple issue. The screen was basically dead. So one thing I think I was trying to remember to do this time, just in case there's gunk on my desk that I can't see, I was gonna that's right, I can also magnetize the tip using this little orange piece on this kit, but it's not, hasn't been necessary so far. Okay, I'm jumping around. But yeah, just, and there is a protective cover on this screen so that I can just peel right off when I'm done, because it's kind of dated and worn out anyway. So I might just do that, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The thing I was gonna say was I could put a mouse pad, or I do have this foam here. Is there anti-static foam? That's actually a really good idea. Let's just do that. We'll protect the screen while I work. You know, in case I do something dumb and leave like a screw on the ground here on the surface, and then move the phone over it and push down while taking another one out. Odd things can happen. Gotta be careful with your stuff. The thing is, so far, most things on this channel that I work on, with the exception of my roommate's laptop that I had fixed recently, most things I work on, I own. So, out of my retro collection, or they're things I depend on for streaming or making videos or taking to vintage computer festivals. Which, by the way, I'm hoping this year I can go to more than just my local one. My local one is the Midwest one. In beautiful Schaumburg, Illinois. Come on, you. This claw works better with bigger screws. Just 3 more, I think. Oh no. 4 more. 5 more. There's one hidden under the... There's glue on here that I still haven't... I haven't come back and heated it and tried to rub the glue off. I'm probably gonna have to do that. Or use alcohol. That's probably what I should do before taking this back plate off, because this back plate is kind of... Although I wonder how much of the back plate is in one piece, because when I take it off, I might be able to clean it a lot easier by itself. What does it feel like? I'm gonna make sure a little spider isn't crawling on my leg. Okay. I think my elastic tights, I'm wearing like these thigh-high tight things for warmth because it's cold down here. They were like slipping a little bit, and it made it feel like something was crawling on my leg. Creepy. Cool. One more, but there's adhesive on it. Don't want to get it on my fingernail. This is a spudger. Oh yeah, that came right off. Nice. Oh, look at that. Literally 2 screws there. Might be something under here too. Yeah, I have to get that adhesive off. Oh, my mic's picking me up. Good. Let's move it a little closer. Okay. Oh my gosh. When I said that, the arid extra dry commercial popped into my head. Who remembers that? Get a little closer. Don't be shy. Get a little closer with arid extra dry. I think that's how it goes. Not sponsored, by the way. I don't even know if they're still in business. Probably not. I got bought out by somebody else. My current phone is buzzing at me because my family, my sister and her family are in Florida visiting Disney World. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a screw under that adhesive. I'm gonna use these just Retro Alcove prep pads. They are 70% isopropyl alcohol, and they should be safe to use on this. And again, I'm gonna try not to get it all over the place, just where it needs to be. My nails, I should probably put on a glove. I think I will. Put on a glove over my gloves. Here, we'll use this hand. Okay. That's pretty good. Let's get that other screw out and we'll go from there. My gloves off again, I think. Okay. Let's try getting bits of adhesive. Okay. See if we can dig under here. Carefully, of course. Started getting it to come up on this side here. Nice and easy. So it's partially under a lip there. Let's see, maybe we can Nice. This side too. I wonder, is that all adhesive? Oh my gosh, that is. There's a huge chunk of adhesive here. I couldn't even tell it that because it's colored orange, kind of like the case. That's crazy. Okay. I have to deal with that. I want to make sure I don't break this charging coil thing here. It's got its own glue, I think, on this side. I might need to heat that to get that off. There's some kind of little sticky substance there. And there might be a cord plugged in. You know what? I think that needs to stay with this part here. I'm not gonna go any harder on it. Let's see. Am I missing a screw? There. Now I'm under on that. Okay, cool. Wow, those have like little tabs actually. Ooh, careful. This is one of those parts where I'm applying a little pressure and I need to be so careful because I was working on Eris Maya's phone and I shattered the back cover when I was working on it. Thankfully, it was a phone that was already broken, one she hadn't been using for years, or at least a year and a half or so, and I ended up, telling her I might be able to get it going again for her, so I was trying. And I haven't given up. There's a replacement part I had to order from what I broke. I think I got this off all intact with no problems. Right? Yes. That is awesome. Okay. Well done on that part. Yay me. Good job. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this here. Yeah. Our way. And now there's some connectors to take off to get the battery off. I think this is for the front screen. Yeah, this is for the battery. I might be able to check the screen soon here if I take the front part off. Yeah, let me double check something real quick. Be right back. Okay, yes, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to try out the new screen here. Because I should be able to, I believe, let's see, because it would be like this, wrapped around and plugged in there, yeah. So I can just plug it in directly like this. Once I get it out of this sticky bag, there we go. Okay. Make sure there's no more adhesive there. Oh, but of course, I do need to plug the phone in once I have the new screen. Actually, maybe I should try and show, since we're at this point where I need to make sure the screen works before I go through all the extra work of replacing it. There it is. That's a modern plug. Darn. Hold on, I have to grab charging plug. Yeah, one sec. Here we go. It's actually a double USB cord. Oh. It vibrated. Now watch, I'll turn it on and the screen will be like, oh, hi. Fancy seeing you here. Trying to remember which button is which on the older. The button on the side here. Again, the old screen was busted, so. And it may need to sit and charge for a few moments before. So if it doesn't come on after charging for a little while. Okay, so far again, like I was worried, the screen looks okay at the moment. But what was happening before was after using the phone for a while, that's when it would jumble up very badly. And again, it could be a dirty connection, but I don't think so. I think it's more than that. I think the screen is pretty well shot. So we'll just see what happens here. But I have a good replacement. Oh, there's the line right there. And the phone's acting a little weird right now too. See that line? Yeah, and for some odd reason, my Retro Alcove wallpaper image on the phone is just a blurry mess. So I think the screen is just that the screen's shot. So did it just discharge? I think it just tried to reset. I hope it's not something else going on too with like the processor or something else happening. But yeah, I think let's go ahead and unplug it, and I'm going to unplug the battery. There. Battery's unplugged. Existing screen is right here. There. Nice and easy. And let's see if we can get this other plug in. Being gentle with the existing, or with the new screen too. I think that's plugged in. Plug the battery back in. That made a click. And then turn this on. Well, plug it back in here. Try turning it on again. That initial vibration was just from the acknowledging the battery got plugged, or the phone got plugged in. One screen. Okay. So far, looks fine, but again, this screen, the other screen looked fine on the initial screen, and then when it tried to load other colors and things was when I saw the ghosting line. Something's not right. I kind of wonder if, like, the amount of power coming from the plug, if it's not, like, regulating the 5 volts correctly throughout the phone, because that could be causing issues. I don't know. Really weird. I mean, it's possible there's a software issue too, but I don't know, a factory reset would probably help, but I'll hold off on that until I do some lookups here. Well, plastic there, that shouldn't be there. Oh, brush, where are you? Yeah, the phone's not happy. I mean, the battery is from 2019, but it should, you would think it's still okay if it is charging, and last I remember it was holding a charge okay. It's not bulging in any way. Alright, let's see. Let's wiggle this a little and just see if the screen does anything weird. And if I just unplug it. And let's unplug the battery again too. Yeah, so right away there. I wonder how much charge it has. Not enough, I don't think. I might have to let it sit and charge for a while. Other than using this Atola thing here that's supposed to be an even 5 volts, let me go get an actual Samsung charger from upstairs. I think that's a good call. Okay, so the phone is off to the side here, because I have the cord I grabbed was a little short, but I was attempting to charge it for the last 20 minutes, and I got a little bit of a charge in there, and I was able to verify the screen is fine, and so the new screen is fine, and it does seem like it will function okay, and that the phone will be all right once I get a new battery, unfortunately, because I think the 2019 battery, it's just so incapable of holding a charge now after not being used. Although I'm going to keep it plugged in for a while and we'll see. But yeah, it's not going to be like an easily usable phone if I leave it like that. So I'm going to have to order a new battery, which I already did off screen. I already ordered one, and it'll be here in, it said 5 to 12 days because I'm ordering from iFixit, which is not like super fast unless you pay a bunch extra for shipping. So to be continued once again, but this phone, I'm encouraged because I was able to swipe through my old applications and see everything on there, and you know, I'll get the new battery. On camera I'll pop that in, then we'll get it charged, and then I will also show it working with the screen plugged in before I swap everything out from the old screen. And then hopefully we'll just get everything back together without ruining anything, because I do have to like disconnect the camera and other things to get to the back portion and get the screen replaced. So it's going to be interesting, but I'll still finish this one. It just keeps getting delayed because I have to get the proper parts and everything. So I'm gonna make sure I put everything in this set of the white boxes here so I don't lose anything. And until next time, this is gonna be so fun to edit because there's so many little videos spanning days and days and so many outfit changes. So and I think the last video my roots were showing in my hair, so now they're not because I went and got my hair done just before I got sick. So it's like this is going to be a video that actually spans like a month and a half of time. Right, I hope everyone has a great night. I always talk like I'm streaming, and I have to cut that out later because I'm a dork. Okay, love y'all, bye. Okay, more research has been done, so I'm gonna go ahead and just work on getting to the point where this back screen, where the screen, the original broken screen, can come off, and then I will be able to put this on. So mainly it's going to be getting that off of there, cleaning up any adhesive, and then honestly I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on, knowing that I've already tested it on here and I know the screen is good, the new screen, and I know it's working when the battery does have a charge. Again, this battery is barely holding a charge. I don't want to have to deal with partially charging it again to test it again. I'm just gonna move forward here with the idea that the battery is coming out, the new one's going in. I'm gonna get the screen in, and I'll probably get it back to the point where the back cover is still off, and instead of going further beyond that point, what I'll do is I will charge the battery fully, you know, let it get well beyond, leave it plugged in for a long time until it says it's 100, and even leave it in for a little longer, and then from there that'll be, you know, until the battery discharges. I won't charge it again, just to start training the new battery. So, which is what's recommended, by the way. There is still some annoying adhesive on the edges here that I was trying to get off before because I don't want to like accidentally leave some near the new screen. So, someplace better I can put this. Just be careful. Yeah, maybe once I get the motherboard out and the battery out, I can clean this even better. I think I'm gonna do that. Let's get the motherboard out. Battery's already unplugged. I think, you know what, let's make sure where I'm gonna put all this as I take it off. I'm gonna take the selfie cam out. This should just pop out once this is off. Should be looking right out, yep. There we go. Let's use here. We'll stop free advertising for iFixit. Move this over here. Although their logo's on a bunch of stuff here, so alright. We'll use this. This is padded for the sensitive parts we're gonna take off here. Let's see. There's a plug here, I think, for the earphones. Very carefully. Nice and easy. Okay. Is that gonna come out more? Maybe not. Okay. And then I think there's one more thing to unplug. I'm trying to remember from what I saw. It might have just been screen. I'm gonna take these two screws out and this screw. Yeah, I think we're good. I might discover something as we go. This might be the right one. Let's see. And these screws I'll keep separate from all these other ones in here because these are smaller, so okay, nice. Let's go ahead, see if we can pry up the motherboard. You know what? I might use this instead. This tool from iFixit literally says on here, this tool, let's see if it focuses. Not yet. It says this tool is designed to break before your device does. So let's hope that's true. You can't read that at all. Wow. There is lettering etched in there though. Let's see. I might need a sharper edge to get under these other parts though. Oh, I just found it. There's the other plug. It's colored just like the motherboard, so careful with that. That is the power button. I almost missed that one. Okay, good. I knew there was one more. I thought there was anyway. But thankfully it became apparent before I put too much pressure on it. Nice. Okay. Make sure it stays out of the way. Get this out of the way. Okay. Now it's just this back side. Gotta be careful. Something's holding on. Is it this little thing? There. Nice. We got it out. Nothing broken that I can tell. But that's the brains of the phone. All right. Good. We'll move these over. Put this here. Awesome. Okay, now, I think we're probably good to just take the old battery out at this point, but there's no reason for it to still be in here. Just gotta be careful because I had a disaster working on that Pixel 3. I don't even know if I have that on camera, but I accidentally punctured the side of the thing. That's not good at all. Yeah, so, there's adhesive. I'm glad I looked. There's adhesive all the way around the outer edges of this battery on the opposite side. And the recommendation is to heat all around here from this side of the phone. And I'm replacing the screen anyway, so that's not too scary to have to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then we will hopefully be able to pry the battery up once it's heated. And then we can proceed to, I think what I'm probably going to do is just get the new screen in after that, in case, you know, heating this and everything damages even further anyway. It doesn't matter. Let's see, is this still plugged in from last time? Let's find out. I had to move a bunch of things around here. It is not. My trusty Infinity Pro Conair modular hair dryer, the Knot Doctor, that has both cool and hot air, is my heat gun for my workbench. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat this part up where the battery is. Let's take another look here. Let's line it up with this black bar here so I know. So this is the bottom of the battery. We'll just kind of heat this area and go from there. Let's try again. Ooh, yeah, the metal on the phone got hot this time. That's not gonna be a good one. I wish I had the right kind of battery spudger thing, but I don't have that tool. It's really important to not lose patience during this part though, because it's hard to get this out. In there very tightly. I'm trying to wiggle it now, maybe a little. Starting. There we go. Nice. That was nice and gentle. Again, a little more gentle. You should be able to get in here in just a second. Careful. I feel like there's a lot of adhesive still holding in the middle of the phone here on this side, so I might have to heat that again now that it's cooled off a little. Let's see. Oh, got it. Outstanding. Yay. All right. Here, let's put this just on this thing here. That's the icky battery with a bunch of adhesive on it. So this will have to get properly recycled. And iFixit does have in their kits like a website address where you can look up how to properly dispose of a battery, how to find an area to drop it off. And it looks like I didn't damage a little bit of a glue scuff there, but I don't think the screen is any more damaged than it was underneath, but that is awesome. That's a good step to be done. Now we should be able to go ahead and switch to getting the back screen off. Look at this. Some of the original manufacturer plastic guard on the side of the phone is still there. That's funny. I don't know how I never took that off. Okay. Let's see. Looking okay. But yeah, I need to heat again and then get inside here now to get the screen off. And we'll use this and some of these again. All right, more with the heat gun. Alright, focused on one side this time, and we'll just try there, and then hopefully get some of these blue things in there to hold it while I get the other parts done. Come on. I can't tell if I need to be a little bit of a down angle and then in, or it's really strange. Because there is a lip, but it won't let this tool in. Wow, that's crazy. I want to use those. This is more for the back cover, I think, than for the screen. But maybe I could try it. Almost. Wow. That is so difficult. Oh, I think I finally got it. Wow. So lifting up with this and trying to dig under is what finally got me in there. That was crazy. Yeah, that's helping a ton. Okay. So that's the trick. I should have used it from the start, I guess. Whew. That was a lot of work. And now I'm just going as nice and easy as I can. Trying to be careful about potential issues with stuff underneath. Maybe time to change the position of this. Let's see. There. Wow, that was pretty smooth after all that struggle. Awesome. This is way better than I thought it was going to be in helping. And I didn't even break it. That's pretty awesome. Of course, this is not needed because it's a part of the new screen too. But the fact that I didn't ruin this, it looks janky, but that's because there's a plastic, protective cover on here. I'm just going to leave it like this. If something were to happen to the back part of that, then maybe I need it, but that's awesome that that's done. All right, let's put this over here. And then this next part, I think, if I remember right, we just peel this part off too. To wash my hands in a minute here. Let's see. Might need to slightly heat it again because there's adhesive involved here, of course. This is the actual LCD portion. Try and be careful. Creating an area that I can peel. There we go. I'm gonna heat that. This part cooled off way too much, so let's just heat it up, get the rest off cleanly. Okay. Nice. A lot of the adhesive came off too there. There you go. There's the LED portion of the screen. That's garbage. Along with the battery here, we'll just kind of put these together for throwing away. And that was well heated. Look at, there's a chunk of adhesive here. Hardly anywhere else. That was very clean. I'm very pleased with that, the way that came off. That's awesome. Okay. And then the new screen obviously is going to pass through there. And the adhesive's ready to go on there. I just need to make sure this is cleaned off. It should be good to go to put the new screen on already. Maybe I should check this outer edge. There is a little bit of gunk here and here. Yeah. So let's get that off. Where did that go? Oh, inside of the phone. Nice. Okay. Wow, that came off so cleanly. This looks shiny and new. I love it. That's great. Okay. Oh, a little bit right here. Okay. Enough fussing with that. It's gonna go like this. And I'm gonna want to leave this back part on to protect it. But the blue adhesive portion, how do I start peeling it? Like right down here, it looks like. Okay. Now this part is a little tricky because in the videos I watched, there was just warnings, you know, be really careful not to accidentally stick it in the wrong position because it grabs and it holds. Like this is strong stuff, this adhesive. So I wonder if I could get that fed through. Oh yeah, that goes through really easily. Okay, and then it's just going to be a matter of turning it over and putting it on. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have the exact adhesive for this. I thought I might have, but so I'm gonna have to use these strips and just plan it out as best I can. But this protective cover, it does seem like this portion is adhesive, so let's just bend this a little. And then we'll put a strip here, maybe on the edge here. Need something to weigh that down. Okay. Same. I do worry this is going to cause the screen to bubble up or something, or be not flush, but I don't have much other option right now unless I want to wait again multiple weeks for this. And if I have to get this off, I can always get it off with alcohol and try again. But crazy, I'm just gonna take that off. Okay. Oh, hard to see the detail, but see, I'm just putting these strips in here like this. I'm gonna do one more there, one along the top maybe, along the inner edge. Okay. Let's get this in here. That feels nice and flush. That's good. A little worried. I always heated a little bit too if it didn't seem like it was going in right, but it does seem like it's going in right. That's awesome. I'm so happy that worked okay. Wow. Okay. And now, I mean, we start putting the rest in. Like, we could get the battery in next, I think. Yep, the screen cover's there. It can move, so it can plug in properly. All right, battery time. Let's do that. So it's just gonna go in here. We do need battery adhesive strips, which I mean, I know this seems more like for the side of the phone, not the kind for the battery. There is I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. 1 second. I need to think for a second because there is a portion. This thing wasn't double layered, was it? Like, wouldn't that have sucked if I messed up and didn't realize that this was adhesive? No, it's just a protective cover. For sure. Yeah, it's not sticky at all. Some garbage building up here. This little tray might come in handy, so I'm gonna leave this out. Let's throw away some of this stuff. And I do have, I know I have battery adhesive over here, so I'm gonna grab that for the next part. We're gonna put a strip there and a strip there and get that in. Yeah, it'll go in this way and it plugs in like right there, so nice. All right, let me pause for a sec. Okay, so these strips are actually meant for a Pixel 3, but I also got just from the stuff I was ordering, I ended up having a second set of these. So these are extra. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut lengthwise on here. They're too long too, so I just want to put it along the edge on both sides here. And that's how I'm gonna glue this battery in. And that should be fine. So let's just cut one this way. Like that. And then, like I said, I think the longer edge I'll just rip off. Yeah, that's right about there. Can come off. Let's do that for the other piece. I'm gonna start it like that and then pull and push down as I go. There, this is working better. Still stretching too much though, so hold on. We don't want bubbles. We don't want parts that stick up more than the other. Which I may have just made a fold there. You know what, let's just end that one right there. That's a mess. My fingers don't want to comply with what I'm trying to do. Come on. There. Same thing at the end there. It just kind of doesn't want to come off cleanly, but let's see if we can get some of that off. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Not too bad. It's enough to hold the battery in. I mean, that's kind of the whole goal. So, all right, let's see if we can get this cover part off. And then we just get this in here and hope she holds. Just gonna hold it down for a little bit. And then we will get going on putting the motherboard back in, and then putting this back cover piece on that's off screen here, right there, that part. Hooking the camera back up, the audio jack, and the power button need to be plugged back in. And then it's all just putting the screws back on, and the back adhesive, of course, which I need to clean this back cover off more before I do that. But again, I might save that for a final video once this is fully charged and we know the screen's working, everything's good. Then we'll do the permanent back cover, because that needs to be absolutely last, because it's such a hassle to get into these phones. I do not want to put adhesive on until I know it's working 100%. So that's in there flush and nicely. I'm happy about that. The screen is on. Yay. Okay. Let's continue. A little cover for this. Alright. Making a bit of a mess, but shall we keep going? Yeah, let's get the motherboard back in. Just sliding it under the power cable plug there. Let's get this battery plug portion very carefully out of the way so we can get this over it. Nice, like that. Yep. And then similarly down here, there's the little plug for the audio jack that has to slip through too. That should be it, along with the screen, of course. Oh, this, darn, I should have gone bottom side first. Okay, let's just gently lift. Okay. Because of the little USB plug, there's a bit of a tight fit there, and then okay, so the bottom portion looks okay. It does need to kind of bend inward here too, though. Let's see, very gently. Nice. Come on, gotta get that top lip right here in. Double checking the power plugs. Oh, is this in the way again down here? It is. This whole thing is oddly pliable. Like, you can bend it a little, and you just gotta be careful, though. Nice. That sounded awesome. Okay, yes, I just got it in every edge. All the power plug cord is exposed and ready to plug in. So is the battery, so is the screen, so is the audio jack. That was good. Yay. Okay. Now let's put these 3 little screws in, just to get that in there solidly. I might have to use this claw tool to help me put this in because they're so tiny. Oh my goodness. That went flying and almost went off the edge. That would have sucked. Okay, let's not do that. Just have to fight with it here. I need to get one of those like lip things on the edge of my workbench where it'll have like a curve from the wall to the top of the workbench, so I don't have that happen. Where there's an area exposed that could allow things to go flying. Whew, that was a close call. Almost lost a key screw. Okay. And then I'm gonna have to get a charger up here, or down here, lower level of my townhome, to then start charging this thing. Okay, we can plug the selfie cam back in. You know what? Let's gently wipe this. There. Okay, let's plug back in. Plug the power button back in. Nice, that's in. Let's plug the audio jack back in. That's plugged in. Let's plug the screen back in. Come on. That's plugged in. And then let's see, we have this portion. This portion though is go this way? This way. I don't think there's anything key in here. This is for the USB or the SIM tray. Right? It's on that side? No, it's on this side. Oh, that's right. I need to double check that the SIM tray can go back in. Let's make sure that it's not blocked. Yeah, it makes it in all the way. That's good. Where is the tool? Tool to pop that out. Let's pop that out again. I mean, honestly, I can leave it in now. I just want to make sure it pops back out like it should too. Yeah, good. It popped. Awesome. All right, we'll leave it in there for now. Everything's going well at the moment with this, so this is really good. I just hope, you know, when I charge it and turn it on, that the screen looks good and that I didn't damage anything. But I'm feeling pretty good about the chance of that being the case. Yeah. So we'll save this portion for later. I'm going to plug in the battery. I'm going to leave the cover on the back here, and we're going to charge this thing. I do believe everything's plugged in, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. And we'll flip it over and hope it is starting to charge. I felt a vibration. And it's looking decent. We'll let that charge. Okay, interesting development here. While charging, this symbol came up. It's a yellow triangle with a temperature warning in it. And that can mean either it's too cold or it's heating up too much, but it doesn't feel like anything's hot. I think, but the warning is, and this stinks because it's a new battery, but it says to remove the charge. And I think what I should do is go ahead and add the rest of the coil and everything here on top, because it has to do with how the heat dissipates and everything. And perhaps this not being on there is causing it to just freak out a little bit. So I think I'm going to add that and we'll go from there. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and this back on and see if that strange charging warning still comes up once this is on and in place. Because I do feel like some of the contacts that that this has with the rest of the phone might be important. Like maybe it's helping to ground some of the components, or who knows, but probably best to have it in place while charging. So let's go ahead and get it back on here. A little bit of a lip on the edges, just like the other motherboard piece on the other side. And I have to try and get in here. Yeah, that's helpful. Nice. Yeah, let's get some of those screws in and we'll see how things go from there. This screwdriver Jorist kit that I bought, by the way, is so helpful because the 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 little screws are so easy to drop, and there's a magnet in here to help it pick them up for you. Much easier. Again, I'm not putting them down too tightly or anything until we get more of them in, then we can start putting down all the way. And yeah, hopefully this will make the difference where it stops giving me that warning. Oops. Having that that magnet on there, having that magnet on there is very helpful to me, especially because of my long fingernails. It's impossible to pick up these little screws. Still 2 more in there. That magnet is pretty powerful. And I think I see where the other 2 will go. Here and here. Get in there. Actually, it looks like there might be 3 left. A little bit of adhesive right here. There, got it. Where is this last screw? Not this one, the next one. There's one last one here. I just don't know where it goes. Is that it? No, that won't be flush. I don't like that I might have an extra screw here. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I do not know where it's supposed to go. Strange. I must have missed one inside, but these are the longer ones, so it shouldn't be. Definitely not seeing it though. Well, I do not know. Let's see what happens now. Let me plug in a charge plug. So what was happening was this would be on for a little bit, and it would go blank. And then after a little bit, that was it. Yay. Awesome. Okay, good. So yeah, it just didn't like that all wasn't plugged in. That's wonderful. Just gonna let this charge now. I think my phone might be okay. Alright. We will check it out when it's fully charged, and although I could set it aside and try and get this cleaned up. Let's do that. How am I going to set this aside? Look at the difference in tool quality here. This was from some random website. This was from iFixit. So again, I'm not sponsored by them, I promise, but maybe they'll want to after watching this, because I'm very happy with what I got from them. Anyway, go ahead, this in here. Oh, wait, adhesive? Yeah, we don't want that touching. Okay. Let's set this aside, let it finish charging. And we're gonna clean the back cover up while that happens. I might as well use this alcohol pad. I have some others here, I think still. Yes, right here. So I'd say that's pretty darn good. Looks tons better. Nasty. I'm gonna go wash my hands, and we'll be ready to do the next part when my phone's fully charged. It's still sitting here charging, so yay. So I'm finally back recording here to wrap up the repair of my Galaxy S10e. I had it working last time, obviously, and I'm talking like I'm streaming again, but I'm just recording. Anyway, this thing, I ended up going and doing a complete wipe of what was on it, so now it is completely debloated. I used Odin and Freya and put a whole new set of firmware on here and got it back to Android 12, and it's like a brand new phone. with none of the Facebook bloatware, none of the Samsung bloatware, and only minimal things to have it be stable and work without issue. And I intend to use it as my new down angle workbench cam to hopefully get a lot more detail of when I'm working on motherboards, or like this phone itself, you know, the detail, it's far away. It's like, it would be better if it was here, but even this camera, it doesn't focus well up close. So, this has pretty great cameras. The back one I think is better, so it'll be the back one that I'm using for this purpose. But I should be able to rig something to have it be my down angle camera on Workbench videos from here on out, at least until I can afford like a Pimax or something. I was looking at the G7s. I think that's what I'm gonna go with once I can afford it. But let's see. The only thing I had to do left was to glue the back cover on. I was waiting to make sure things were going to be stable and that I didn't need to go back into the phone for anything once I, you know, began using it more and wanted to make sure everything was working. You know, the headphone jack, the speakers, the cameras, everything, and it's all good. It's all working. So this was a successful repair after all that, and yeah, let's just finish it and hopefully get this back cover on nice and evenly. Again, I'm using iFixit, not sponsored, but let me know iFixit if you ever want to work with me in the future. But yeah, let's see here. It should be pretty obvious how this goes, and I do think it's going to be better to put it right on the back cover. You know what? I should have double checked this. So it's going to go like this. Because then, yeah. I am going to double check on iFixit just to make sure which way they recommend. I'm sure it will work either way, but, you know, one way might be a little safer to do. I'm thinking it goes on the back cover and then you take your time placing it very carefully onto the phone. So let's make sure, and I'll be back in an instant here. Okay. So I looked it up, and it does show it lining it up onto the phone first and then just putting the cover on. So I guess I'll do it the way they're suggesting. Yeah, and I have cleaned this up with alcohol already. Ooh, one bit of this cover piece though, I just realized this didn't pop in all the way when I did this, so that's something I can safely apply a little pressure on there to, you know what, I'm gonna have to undo the screw a little bit. So let's make sure on this. Yeah. There's just a little like lip there. I don't like using the metal one. Let's use what is getting caught there? Just a little lip that didn't go underneath this piece here. I probably bent this cover slightly while taking it off. Just not knowing any better. First time working on this phone. Honestly, I think when... Yeah, we can screw this back down. I think when the back cover's on, it's gonna correct that anyway. Because it goes down when I press it down. No problem, so... It just wasn't perfect. I was double checking. Alright, here we go. So... Actually, it's gonna go this way. And then that'll go on there. Yeah. Okay. See, I honestly feel like... Well, no, I guess this does make sense because they have this set up so I can peel this off and use this bigger piece to align. Yeah, I think that's why they do it like this. Wait, is that gonna... That's interesting. How is that gonna work? I don't see how this particular one... See, I saw contradicting things. I saw somebody on YouTube showing it... Is this adhesive? I'm very confused now. Okay. I'm gonna look back at on iFixit again because the YouTube video that I saw with somebody else doing it actually confused me. So, be right back. Okay, so yeah, the iFixit site was way more clear about this than the person who I was watching. And one thing though is I do not have more adhesive to make sure this is on better, but I think it's gonna be fine. I think it'll be okay. I did a good job getting all the adhesive off the edges of the phone, the prior adhesive, so I feel pretty comfortable with that. So yeah, it's basically peel this back part off like this carefully. I do feel though I should have left that on because that had the tabs for proper aligning, but I can touch these. Yeah, that was a mistake. So it's gonna go... Oh, it's for alignment. I totally did mess that up. Because it helps you align on here, I see. Yeah. But see, this part... Hold on. Don't do it this way. This is not an instructional video. Yeah, I think this is more like a guide. Because this is not the adhesive part. It's this. So now I just have to figure out a way to hold this. These green tabs, obviously I can hold. And then this part, like, who cares if this one little part doesn't... Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Here, I'm gonna use this to help me align the top. There. That way I can touch that edge. So we'll just, because of the way I did this, I'm gonna have to align the bottom first. and then let the top work its way up. Very, very cautiously. Okay, and now I need to get this piece out of the way. Oh no, did I just use a part that's gonna adhere? I did. It's coming off, but that was really dumb. That could have been disastrous. Don't rip. So it wasn't as straightforward as I thought, at least not the way I'm doing it. Let go. I'm not gonna need to heat it up just to get it off of there. Don't clump. Okay, good. Whew. It wanted to be stuck forever. It almost found a new home. Okay. I'm gonna get off my finger. This was not ideal, but it's working. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, I think it worked out after all. That was so bad. Don't do it that way. Oh gosh. I am not, these are not instructional videos. These are have fun doing your best, repairing your own stuff. That's what my videos are about. This is not a professional how-to for people fixing phones for customers, for other people. See this little guy I'm worried about. You're gonna have to stay in position, pal. Okay. And then hopefully that's gonna stay. Okay. I want this little thing might just be to help this little thing stay in place. This little teensy black piece. I think it is. I think it goes right here because you can see where the old one was. Let's do that. Let's put that on. Oops. But we'll put it on here because of the way I screwed this up. I'll try and get it to stay and then just pull it back up. I'm gonna end up hitting this, I know it. Okay, there. Nice. Okay. That's there. I think that will help hold this little glass cover. Now it's just a matter of getting this on correctly and then heating it up with the hot air. Oh, you know what? Let me plug in my little hair dryer thingy. I have my lights too bright, don't I? Professional. Where's the other one? Where'd it go? That's better. Sorry about the harsh lighting. I'll just leave it running. My older hair dryer, that is a perfect heat gun for the workbench. Probably said this already on this video, but in case it didn't show up well, it's the Not Doctor Infinity Pro from Conair Ionic. Just in case you can get this cheaper than a normal heat gun, which you might be able to. Because what they recommend doing is getting this on and then heating all the edges for the glue to kind of like set again. So I'll do my best to keep this little cover in place while, you know what? I just noticed that little piece of glass is dirty. How am I going to do this without, you know what? Here. It does come right off, doesn't it? Let's clean it. Yeah. At some point I got a fingerprint on there. Probably shouldn't do that, but whatever. There, now I get a good reflection from that light. Yep, much better. All right, let's line it back up again. One more time, and no touching those glass pieces now. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. I'm worried that's gonna fall right off during the most sensitive part here. But let's just try it and hope it doesn't. I just kind of went for it. Didn't want to talk through that part because I'd mess up. But I think it's good. Oh gosh, I hope this looks good when I'm done. And I gotta clean up the back of the phone here. But that lined up just right. Yay. Yeah, and I think I do need to heat it because I feel it wanting to pop back up. So let's heat it just briefly to set it. I think it's done. Looks like a good edge to me. And that one little trouble spot, is it still popping up? Let me see. Nope. Feels flush and looks flush. It's definitely not considered waterproof anymore. They say on the iFixit site, but that's okay. This isn't my daily use phone anymore. It's just one I held on to after it had completely died and was able to revive it. So I'm very happy. This is trash. But that does it. Oh, I suppose I should turn it on and show you all that it does work. Here, let's do that. Leave the trash here, will I? Boop. Let's see. Yeah, the camera is awful. I can't wait to get a better down angle camera for this. I think it might be a little dirty too, but we're just out of focus at the moment. Like, trying to use a manual focus thing on there, crazy. So yeah, no sim service, but oh, can't show you my pin. Hee Yay. It works. And again, it's just the weird lighting not focusing, but it looks great, and there's just, that's the gradient. That's not a problem with the phone. So oh, very happy about this. Oh yeah, I didn't turn that part off yet. The goofy side menu. Oh, I'm getting notices. I do have just, I think YouTube sync on here because YouTube, I do have YouTube Premium and I don't want, oh. That's freaking irritating. I'm gonna have to turn down the, I can't believe audio notifications are on by default. That's so funny. Anyway, I have my phone back. Watch, that'll be a copyrighted sound and I have to like deal with copyright infringement BS on YouTube because of that. Anyway. This has been an adventure. Hopefully this video turns out, after all the editing I'm gonna have to do for this. Love you all. Thank you for, just being interested in watching my channel, and please support and subscribe if you can. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.